Hello and welcome to a Martin Luther King Day edition of Monday with the Mayor. I'm Bradford Raths, and we have returned to Huntingburg to visit with Denny Spinner in the red sweater.
Thank you very much. Bradford Raths with a nice tie.
Right. So moving right along, the downtown revitalization project continuing. We're still getting public comment on it, as I understand.
That is correct. We had our public hearing on that plan last week, and it was a very great crowd came to see the presentation. And since that time, there's been a period of public comment that has been going on through our website, and that comment period will continue for at least the next week. So if you want to comment on the plan, first of all, you can go to our website, www.huntingburg-in.gov, and view the entire plan. It's a 60-some page report, which I feel was very, very in-depth. It reflects our community very well and has a lot of ideas out there. And we want to be very clear in the fact that what these ideas are just ideas at this point. They're not set in stone plans, they're proposals. And what's going to happen after this public comment period is our consultants, the DCI folks, will take all those comments and take it from what was a draft proposal to a proposal that will be up for consideration by our City Council on February 13th. Again, clarifying that this the council action at that time would be to accept the report. Now, that doesn't mean that they're accepting everything in the report as things we're definitely going to do. What the council's task and the mayor's task after receiving that report and saying, yeah, this is a good report, is to look at those projects, identify which ones are priorities for us, and which ones we can take on as we move forward. There are several items in there that we know we have to address. It's just a matter of which ones are the ones of highest priority and help guide us in how we want to set the future for our downtown. But one of the things that I've been very pleased about in the feedback that we've heard, I think the plan was very realistic in the fact that it wasn't a cookie cutter approach. It definitely fit Huntingburg. All the projects that are identified, all the proposals that are identified, I think are doable projects. But again, it's going to come down to, we don't have dollars to do them all. So we have to pick and choose which ones have the greatest impact and the greatest need. What I've heard from public input from this point, what I really am encouraged about is there's been very few comments about we can't do this. The questions have been, how do we do this? So that's very important to say. There's a great energy about it right now. People are seeing the possibilities, and they're talking about how can we do these, what are the things that we want to do first, and how do we set that roadmap in front of us. So that comment period is going to continue. You can go to the website, you can download the plan, you can comment on the website itself, and all those will be compiled and handed over to the consulting firm, and they'll come back with a report within the next couple of weeks. So we need your input, and it's been positive so far, and we look forward to hearing more comments.
Well, it's always good to have the positive side of it.
Right.
People asking how we can do it.
Right,
versus...
exactly, yeah. And that tells me that the study that was done really does reflect our community well. They listened to all the stakeholders that were involved. They listened to the steering committee, who did a great job of it was a good cross section of our community that represented all different various aspects of our downtown and those who live in and around the downtown. So it's a good workable document. Okay.
So a tremendous opportunity for you this past
Right.
week. Got to take a trip up to the State House for
Right.
the State of the State.
I was really fortunate that the State of the State address by Governor Mike Pence was Tuesday evening, and last week, the week leading up to that, I received a call from the governor's staff and was invited to be the governor's guest in the audience viewing the State of the State. So I was very honored to receive that invitation. There were 4 mayors in the state that were invited to attend, and I was one of the 4. So I was very, very pleased to do that and to take part, and to be in the chamber when the address was delivered. Of course, on a personal level, it was very pleasing to see our Lieutenant Governor introduce the Governor, Sue being Lieutenant Governor Ellspermann being from our area, and we have a long relationship with her through her time as a legislator. So there was another local connection there. But it was good to kind of be in that chamber and hear the Governor's address. I think the Governor has laid out some very good plans, ideas for the future for our state, working from a position of strength. and in particular the issue that I think most local government officials, the mayors across the state, town boards across the state, were listening to the governor's plan as it relates to the business personal property tax. His idea to eliminate that tax. His initial statements on that were very strong, is that I want this eliminated. It was softened a little bit in the state of the state as saying that he still wants to see that softened or phased out in a way, but rather than just eliminated. And he also clearly stated that it cannot be any kind of replacement revenues cannot be placed as a burden on local governments. And from a mayor's standpoint, from a local government standpoint across the state, that's something that we needed to hear, because if you just would go out and eliminate a tax, it would have a tremendous impact on our budgets and our abilities to provide the services that we're providing now.
So it would be a sizable chunk just about everywhere, as I've heard.
Right. Our calculations in just the it would impact the city of Huntingburg in two different areas. One, in of course the civil city side with the taxation that's generated just for general operations. Our figures look like it's around 7.6% of the budget would be that number would represent 7.6% of our current budget. If that was gone, we'd have to make some serious decisions about types of things that we can continue to offer. Also, it would impact our TIF districts, our tax increment financing districts, where we use those funds for projects such as the overpass project that's coming, fire and police station improvements. That money has all been designated for that. If that revenue source would go away, again, we'd have to take some serious looks at what kind of projects we can continue to provide the kind of service and the kind of community we want to be. So I'm hearing some discussion now. Both the House and the Senate have come up with some different ideas on that, and it's good to have. I think they've heard the local government's view on this, and there's going to be. I don't think there's going to be a short-term solution come up with immediately, but there's going to be a lot of good discussion. Hopefully, we'll find a way that we can, fill those gaps and provide some tax relief where it's needed, but not to the detriment of the local taxpayer.
Right. Certainly something to watch, though, in the State House.
It'll be very, very much watched by, I know, all the units of government, and I know our legislators. I've had a conversation with our own representative, Lloyd Arnold, about it, and he's aware of the impacts it would have in our community, and he is making sure that those are reviewed and reflected when he comments on the House floor. So I think we have good representation that knows how we feel about it, and I'm confident we can come up with a good solution.
Yeah. Well, Mayor, we always appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.
This has been another week of Monday with the Mayor. We'll have more news right after the break.